this is my Airbnb this year. I can potentially make more for the rest of the year, but we're looking at $37,750 this year, which is double the rent, in a location that you wouldn't think it would be successful.
What's going on YouTube? Jeff Wybo here. My brother gave an amazing talk at On RIA where he was talking all about Airbnb. You guys got to stick around and watch this video. It was killer, which followed up with an Airbnb mastermind. Stick around, let me know in the comments section what you guys thought of it. It's a really good talk, check it out.
Thank you, Sean, Jen, appreciate it. I've done a few of talks like this before, not in this, like not with a bunch of people around. Usually we're inside my Airbnb and we're talking on the Wybo limo tour, or we're going through a property that I think is good for Airbnb. That's kind of where I'm having this discussion. So Sean came to me a couple days ago, said, hey, would you like to do a talk? I don't normally say no to things, so I said, you know, let's do it. A lot of you don't know too much about Airbnb. I'm not going to go fully into detail tonight. I'm not going to bore you with all the details. I'm going to kind of give you what I think is important, and then we'll kind of go from there. So a little bit about me, some pictures of me. I'm Phil Wybo. I'm a realtor here in London, Ontario. I'm an investor, and I'm an Airbnb expert. So, yeah, I love looking at my phone. That's where you make your money. So basically, I'm going to showcase the property that I use for Airbnb, and we'll kind of just go right and dive right into it. So this is typically a 4-bedroom, 1-bathroom. This is a duplex. It's located on that's the address right there. So for you who are not from London, it's not really, like you wouldn't think that you would put an Airbnb in this location. Those of you who are from London, it's across from the Army Barracks. It's a decent student rental area. But for some people who are opening up an Airbnb, you would say, well, why would you put it there? We'll kind of get into that later. Typically, I'd get about $1,500 in rent on the one side. I should probably backtrack a little bit. I live on the other side of the duplex, so I live in the back unit. I Airbnb the front unit, and the front unit used to make me $1,500 in rent to a typical family. I can kind of get into that too, like how I got into wanting to Airbnb. I think there's one more. Yeah, so $18,000 a year is basically what you would make in that unit. I did students before. The students were great. They never complained. They never asked for anything. You know, they damaged things here and there, but they were perfect. I would go back to them again. I put a family in there. It was an absolute nightmare. They bugged me every 10 minutes for something. They didn't know how to unclog toilets. You guys know you know, what happens when you rent to families. So once they decided to say that they would leave, I said, okay, let's take a chance. Nobody in town was doing Airbnb, so I was basically the stepping stone. You know, it was, Phil, you give it a shot. You try it out first and see what happens. So I did. I took a shot. I bought a bunch of furniture, housed the place, and kind of, we'll get into the numbers as to what's going on. So again, typically you'd make $1,500 a month. That's before bills. So this is my Airbnb this year. I can potentially make more for the rest of the year, but we're looking at $37,750 this year, which is double the rent in my Airbnb, in a location that you wouldn't think it would be successful. So I've kind of shown you what months are of value. You can see the expected, so that's just for the rest of the month. I have people coming, and that's what's expected to make. So I haven't made that yet, but should make it. This month it looks like, you know, Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, and then like Boxing Day. And then I upped my price on New Year's night to like an outrageous price so no one would book it. So I just don't want anybody in there, especially if I live on the other side. So I thought I'd get into the listing. So this is what my listing looks like. And you can see right now my real estate profession comes into play here with the professional photography, and we'll kind of get into that later, but I charge $99 a night, and again, I'll get into that as to why I do that. I just wanted to showcase what a guest would see when they're looking up on Airbnb. Yeah, I think that's it. Go to the next slide. I kind of going to go through all the photos of the place so you can see it, and I'll kind of just talk about it. So this is the living room, kitchen. It's a typical house, right? But like it's all staged properly so that people can see it and it looks all bright, and I got my photographer in there. And this is why people would want to stay in this rather than, and we'll get into another photo as to why you don't want to. So I'm going to go through the steps to setting up a brand new Airbnb. So typically, a lot of people say, well, where do I find a place, right? Whether you're going to do a whole house, a multifamily unit, a room rental, a cottage, location, location, location. Does it matter? In my case, looks like it doesn't. I think personally you can do anywhere you want to do it. I have some tips to what I think would work. Like I think if you are by wedding chapels, like you're going to be booked out every single weekend because people are coming in from out of town all the time and they need a place to stay. And like if you look at Bellomere's here in London, Bellomere's is nowhere near the hotels downtown. And if you had a place really close, unfortunately they're really expensive near Bellomere's, but if you had a place near there, I would recommend you opening up an Airbnb there because you would be booked out every single night. Near mine, they're coming for the convention center, right? They're coming for, again, weddings. They're going to Fanshawe. They're going to Western, right? What else is there? There lots of concerts, convention center. Visiting family, I've had people on my street say, oh, this is great. I have family coming into town. They don't have to stay with me. I don't have to clean up. Again, because a lot of people ask me, like, why are they coming into town? So these are a few of the examples as to why they are. Go on to the next thing. So next thing, after you found your place, you're going to go shopping. This is fun. You get to go and look for furniture. I do advise you to get a designer with you to try to give you an idea of what a room should look like and then kind of move that into shopping. You could pay someone just to do the shopping, right? So you're not spending your time. What's your time worth, right? So I just kind of named off some of these places where you buy your stuff. So I'd say the most important places you want to focus on are obviously the bedroom. That's where they're going to spend their night. So spend the most money on the mattress. That should be the most expensive thing inside the Airbnb. And in mine, people have said to me, this is a better bed than mine at home, or more like best hotel room bed I've ever had. So that to me said, okay, you spent the good money. The bed at the bathroom and the kitchen, and then a smart lock. This has saved me so much time not having to meet people at the property, give them keys. And as for like a security situation, I don't want to give out keys because they could remake the key and come back in at a same time, or another time. So I recommend this lock. This is the August lock, which actually pairs with Airbnb. And once the people have made a request, this lock and Airbnb combine with each other and it sends them out a code automatically. It's just perfect. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to, again, you don't have to meet them at the front. They got the code, they can go in, and you can just, you could be on vacation and people can go in, basically. So this lock automatically locks after 10 minutes as well, which is great. So if they leave, they forget to lock, at least you know your stuff is secure. This also locks them out after their reservation. So that code can never be used again. Whereas the cheaper codes, you can only program 12 of them, and you're having to keep going back and programming them. It's kind of a nuisance. So this one can hold up to, I think it's like 99,000 or something crazy. And if you get to that status, let me know. So.
Just ask a quick question.
Sure.
So would you never just rent the furniture as opposed to keeping it in inventory?
You could. So you could go to those rents. So it depends upon what your situation is. Do you want to, so I bought the furniture, it cost me 12 grand. I don't advise you to do that. I bought all brand new stuff, but it took me 3 months to pay it off. So you look at the value after the 3 months, then you have all the furniture instead of continuing to pay. But if it works for your strategy and what you're looking to cash flow or make on the property, then yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's what we say in real estate too sometimes is to go to these furniture companies and see if they can showcase their furniture inside your property. So go to them and say, hey, how would you like to have people coming in from all over the world, like if you got big enough, all over the world to see your product, and we could even put a little piece of paper at the front saying, this is where this product's from. Just like we've even done that to painters as well, to put the paintings on the walls. Maybe people will come in and buy the paintings as well. So you could outsource that in the sense that maybe you don't even have to buy any furniture. I just advise, again, buy the bed the mattress brand new. Don't go out and get used mattresses. Everything else is fine, right? TV and that. So this is the professional help that I get. So again, the stager, like I had mentioned, these are not the company, just the home stager. Photographer, this is very important. I'll show you that why in the next slide. And cleaners, I don't want to be cleaning. I did a little bit of it, and then I just had enough. Seeing human hair is not something that was of value to me, so pay somebody else to get this done. Just cut it into your cost. There is a cost to cleaning. There is a cleaning fee involved in Airbnb. So yeah, if you do end up doing the cleaning, you'll get to the point that I got to too, and you'll have enough. My cleaner loves her job. She's there all the time. And let's just backtrack to that. Your cleaner is everything. If your cleaner doesn't show up, you're not ready for the next reservation. I'm going to grab some water here. Yeah, so your cleaner is everything. If she or he doesn't show up, you have to have the backup cleaner as well. So I advise you to hire a company and ask them to reduce the rate a little bit. It's not your typical clean. Like the unit should be decently cleaned. You should have your extra sheets, so that way the beds can get turned over really quick. They throw them in the laundry, and while they're cleaning everything else, the sheets are already getting put on from your additional sets of sheets. I give my cleaner a $100 bonus at the end of every month, and to her, she makes $15 an hour. It's the greatest thing in the world. So if I get 5-star ratings on my cleaning, I give her 100 cash, and she's ecstatic, and she's there all the time. If I need her that day, she's there. So that's the most important person in this business, is the cleaner. So keep that in mind. So I wanted to kind of go on the professional photo to the amateur. If this is yours, I did pull this off of London. So I grabbed this off of an Airbnb in London. You can see the difference. Like, wouldn't you rather stay in this place than that place? And maybe you're going to make a lot more money here than you are going to make there. So what kind of experience are you trying to give these people from out of town? And how are you trying to get a good review, or just, yeah, you know, the bed was okay. You know, there's not even a comforter. Well, maybe there is, but. So yeah, and again, mine's bright, it's inviting. Hire a photographer. It's important. That's the one thing. So I had a gentleman reach out to me on Instagram asking me, how come I'm making so much money? You know, he said, why are you making so much money and I'm not? My unit's pretty similar to yours. I'm making half of what you're making. He sends me his listing. I take a look. The second photo is of a toilet seat up. The third photo is of towels on top of the bed. The towels don't need to be on the bed. We know that they're there. You've got to go back to the real estate mindset and how do I take good photos, right? And if anybody's flippers here, you know that that's important. That's how we bring people to the property. And this is clickbait all day long, as we call it, right? People are going to click my listing all day long. Like, if we go back and we just picture that and what I don't know what his front photo was, but we got to go a little further back here. Right, like, that's clickbait all day long. People are going to click this to view this property, and that's what we want, right? So I don't know the specific number, but you can look up on Airbnb how many people actually book your unit. So I have a 1% booking, which I've talked to other Airbnb people, they're at like 0.5. So I actually have a really good booking rate. And I use this 99 here as another clickbait. I can't remember if I get into that in another slide, but I'll go into it now, and if I do, I'll just skip past it. I do the 99. It's your typical Walmart mentality. You're going to click you're going to want to buy something. It's not $100. It's just not 100, right? So there are people who put their thing at 100, and then so this is for 2 guests. So I do 99 a night for 2 guests, and then I charge $25 a head after that, and I can room up to 8 people in this property because it's a 4-bedroom. Right? So typically I can make anywhere from your $150 to $250 a night on Airbnb. So again, this is clickbait. They click it, then they find out later what the cost is. But at least I got them to potentially fall in love with my place and then want to book it. Oh, well, it's an extra 100, whatever. I like it. He's got great reviews. Let's do it. But if I had it sitting at $250 a night, do you think someone's gonna click it? Probably not. They're gonna say this is too expensive.
So guys, what did you think of that talk? Let me know down below. And if you guys are new to this channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We got a lot of great stuff upcoming. See you guys in the next video. Bye.